sponsor. We are in UTICA, Utica, New York.
Yellow TT there, everyone. Oh, we got a little picture action here. Look at this, Sparky. Look down. Look at that. I'm literally standing on top of the Springfield. Look at that. Oh, this is my Oh, you! What a great yeah. This oh, the axles. Yeah. Yeah, but the axles are, this is crazy. Oh, here we go. Here's the end of the trip. The end of the trip. It'll go down the water. Okay, Sparky. Come on. Sparky's got it over there. I reckon we should probably get going there. Watch this go by and then I'll take it by
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a little bit of rail fanning Utica on the way home with Sparky and Steve Dranix, Muskoka Steve from Springfield. And I wanted to share a little bit of rail fanning with you because, man, there was a lot of mainline action. Welcome to the show. We have 61 people in here. That might be a record for starting off. And yes, it is freezing in here. It's, I think, 12 degrees, 10 degrees Fahrenheit right now, going down to minus 22 on Friday. So I'm just wearing some mini prints merch. Welcome. I'm going to say hi to a few people that I saw pass by in the chat, and then we're going to get on to the next part of the broadcast, which, as you all know, and if you watched my pre-show mini show, we're going to pick the beer. But before we pick the beer, I would like to say hello to Greg Cassidy. I'd like to say hello to Crooked River and Eastern, which was great to meet you at the show. Dundas James, how are you? Wigwag, Robert Thomas, howdy. Nissy J, Russ Rockin. Heath is here from Humanity Junction. Hello, Heath. Jerry Coffee, M&M Rails, good evening. Ken N is here. Ron Moen is here. Lynn, did I say hi to you, Lynn? Well, hello again if I did. Stephen Wagner is here. Artie, hello from down under. Wigwag Workshop, of course. Who else is here? Butch Taggart, Ken N. I need software to keep track of all this. Someone's going to have to teach me how to get a list of everybody. But welcome, everyone. I see Joe Rader. Lots and lots and lots of people. Welcome to the show. Is it ever going to be action-packed tonight? As you all know, we start off with a very important, and let me just get this up and running, a very important task. And as you might have seen, I went to the beer store and I picked out 4 fantastic brews, which I am going to add into, let's see, there we go, add into the stream. And let's see what we've got here. Okay, so we have, in no particular order, 12 kilometers through the snow, uphill, barefoot, both ways. These are all fine Henderson brews from across the street. I had this on air, I think 2 months ago, and it was absolutely wonderful. It's an old ale, and it is absolutely delicious, but it is 9.5% alcohol, so yikers. The Figo Italian-style Pilsner, we've seen that on the show before, and it is just a nice, light, crisp, Pilsner. Very nice. I think the Devil's Tuning Fork made an appearance last month, and I can't remember if that's the one I drank, but this, I think I did. It's a Belgian ale, 5.4%, sort of caramely, and a really beautiful label, and quite yummy. And there's a new one tonight, and you guys get to choose. However, I am rather excited about this one, so if you don't choose it, I will have to go drink it all by myself. And this is the Winter Spiced Blonde. And this one, and I didn't write down the tasting notes, I'd have to go back and look at it, but this one talked about all sorts of spices. That one caught my attention. Okay, so those are the 4 from this evening. I'll just put that back up there so you can see. There's the 12 kilometers, which I've had before. It is absolutely delicious, but it packs a punch. The Italian Figo, which I do like, but I don't know, Pilsner, it's kind of cold for that. The Devil's Tuning Fork, which I think is a definite contender. And then the new one, which I'm kind of hoping you'll vote for, but I don't get to choose. Pick this one. The Winter Spiced Blonde. Okay, so what do we have here? Bob says Winter Spiced Blonde. Good man, Bob. Sean said Winter Spice. Good man, Sean. David is supporting my decision. Heath is supporting my decision. Jeffrey is supporting it. Well, thank you all for voting early and voting often. It is the Winter Spiced Blonde. I was kind of hoping that you would pick that one. So let me just do some business here. Oh yeah, it smells spicy. I apologize. It is an absolute disaster here. Everything is in boxes on the way home from Springfield. I have not unpacked yet, so I don't have a glass to show you the color, but you can kind of see it as I pour it there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is really nice. Okay, you chose well, and I thank you for that. All right, so let's get the show on the road now that we have picked that. And I am going this way. So, as some of you, and let me just switch this around, as some of you may have guessed, predominantly we will be talking about the Railroad Hobby Show that I'm just back from in Springfield. I met some of you there, and it was unbelievable. It was like nothing I have ever seen. I believe that John posted the attendance, and I think it was something around 22,000 people over the course of 2 days. It really was something very special, and my first time, and we will talk all about it. But before I get too far down that rabbit hole, I need to talk about these four people. I think you might recognize at least two of them other than myself. Heath from Humanity Junction and Sparky from Sparky 107 107 are behind me. And the gentleman wearing the mini prints ball cap is a very good friend of mine named Steve Duranix, who is on YouTube under the name Muskoka Steve. He has an amazing channel. He's a wonderful modeler from my neck of the woods, and we rode down together. So it is absolutely, and thank you, Don, for reminding me that I have to start putting some of these comments up, because you are right. It was a crew of troublemakers, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, did we get in trouble. And he says he thinks it was 18,000 plus in tickets and 21,000 in attendance. And you know, the funny thing about Heath is if you say his name 3 times, just like Beetlejuice, he miraculously appears. Hey, Heath.
Look how that goes.
It's amazing, isn't it? So you're on my screen and you're on my screen.
That's a little frightening. That's a little too much, Heath.
It's meta, isn't it?
100%.
So thank you for coming on, because I was just publicly thanking you for all of your love and support and everything, both for covering the show and helping out at Mini Prints. You were actively involved and always around, and I wanted to thank you in person, so as to speak, and also get your thoughts on the show. What did you think of Springfield?
Thank you. Yeah, the show. So I've been to the show 3 times now. In 2020, before pre-showstopper, 2021, which was the big storm, and then this one, and it felt very close to the 2021, and it was just really great to see the excitement. When I first walked up to the door, and I know I've told this story to a couple people, so you may have already heard it, but 8:55 a.m. on Saturday, I'm standing at the door, and there's a big crowd, and my first thought was, oh man, I gotta wait behind all these people to get in. And then it kind of occurred to me, like, yeah, I have to wait behind all of these other people to get in. And it just sort of reminded me of, how great the hobby was. So it was just fantastic. Met a lot of people, said hello to a lot of people, and did a tiny bit of filming while I was there, just to sort of, remember the weekend. And
a tiny bit of filming. I think you covered every square inch of 4 buildings. And I'd have to echo what John says here. I actually only got to see the show over the last 2 days watching your walkabouts. So I too, like John, enjoyed your walkabouts. And I now see the show that I completely missed. So thank you for bringing Amherst to me, because I never left the booth. So your walkabouts were fantastic.
Thanks. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, even doing 5 live streams over 3 days, I still feel like if there were another 5 days, I'd probably be able to see something new every day. I've been watching some of the videos since I've been home, and I've been saying to myself, where was that? I didn't see that. And
Oh, I know.
it's incredible. It really was incredible. The energy was just absolutely fabulous. And I'm glad I was able to help you out, a little tech support, a little help with cleanup, making it all happen. So
You did. And
yeah.
I just want to put Mrs. Mini Prints up on screen here. And she has echoed something that I said to her the other day. I really could not have done it without the three of you, Heath, Sparky, and Steve. Now, Sparky. So, okay. So James is saying Sparky 3 times to see if he will show up. I think Sparky was going to try and make it. He might pop in later. I'm not sure. But I know that he has had a very busy day and he wants to be here. And if I don't get Sparky on this time, and I've got a very, very good Sparky story for you guys that I will share with you in a couple slides. So stick around. So Sparky will be making an appearance tonight, if it's not in person, then in spirit. So yes, Sparky is here in spirit if he will not join us. Okay.
So
Yeah.
what was your favorite part of the show?
That's easy. It's one thing and one thing only. And I have to be honest with you. I didn't get out of my booth very much. And when I did walk outside, I walked outside. The Saturday was so incredibly beautiful. The weather was sunny and I think 6 degrees. I don't know which, it's probably 6 degrees Celsius. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it was beautiful. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous. So when I felt the need to get out of the booth, I headed outside. I walked around a little bit. I saw that you also experienced the Wi-Fi was spotty between buildings. So I have a few videos up that unfortunately are somewhat unwatchable because I kept losing internet connection. But the favorite part of the show for me by far were the people and meeting the people. And it's that's what I wanted to do. That's why I wanted to be there. And I've got a few pictures that I will show in a moment that illustrate that. But just, meeting people that I felt I knew online, but I'd never met in person. It's kind of like the first time we met.
Yeah.
It's like you become friends with people online, and then all of a sudden you meet them and you're like, oh, I've actually never really met you before. So, Martin Jenkins from Australia and Michelle from Colorado and Dave and and so many YouTubers. I mean, we should talk about that too. I mean, you organized a YouTuber meetup.
Yeah, we had a little get together on Sunday at noon, and it was great to see. Some people couldn't make it, but I ran into some people Saturday that couldn't make it Sunday. But yeah, we had it was a good group of people that showed up, and like you say, it's we know all these 2D people, and to actually meet them in 3D was quite special. And I don't know. It sounds a little cliche almost to say, right? Oh, it's the people, it's the community, but
I know
it really is. It really is.
It really, really is. If people don't know, like if people don't know Humanity Junction, Human City, how do you? I always say humanity, but it's Human City.
I say humanity. I do say humanity.
Okay, so
yeah, there is a video on my channel if you want to go back and see where it comes from. But yeah, I do say humanity.
Okay, good. So I've watched, you can see all the ones I've watched here. The bars give it away. I still have to watch the Friday pre-show and finish Saturday, but the coverage is exceptional. If you have not watched every second of it, I have to say I have not found coverage yet that is as what's the word I'm looking for? Universal. Extensive. Thank you. Extensive. Please check out Heath's channel. As well, I've got a few things up with spotty reception, and Sparky's got stuff on. But I thought I'd go through a few pictures as we chat. I wanted to share with people one story, and I know you just saw this picture a minute ago. I thought I'd get ahead of the blizzard. So we actually, Steve and I came down on the Wednesday, which, you know, I heard this horrible story about the blizzard coming Thursday. And I thought, yeah, you know what, it's probably good to go down and get ahead of the weather. Well, I drove nose first into the weather. And I don't know if you've ever driven a car with all the sensors and all the technology they have nowadays, but none of it works when it's covered in 3 inches of ice. So yeah, that's right, Don. This is you might have seen this online, but this is cake frosting, absolutely. And it was kind of like being in the cockpit of a jet as every sensor goes offline. So nothing was working, and it was very dramatic, but we made it, and it was a fun drive down, not a big deal for Canadians. And this was a Mini Prints booth. If you have not seen it, I think we were in a pretty good location. We had a ton of traffic, and we were in the Better Living Center. And I wanted to thank these pictures. The funny thing, actually, and I've got to ask you, Heath, if you have any pictures from the show of the booth, send them along, because I did not take a single picture of the Mini Prints booth all set up. So these are from the fine folks at RMC. So Railroad Model Craftsman, which I will come back to in a minute, sent me a whole bunch of pictures and posted them online. So I'm glad somebody actually took some pictures. So we had the modules set up, and that was kind of fun. And a few little mini print offerings, including, you can see there you are, Heath, right up there with your camera.
Yep.
There's an O-scale Heath. And did some scanning, which was a lot of fun. There's Bruce in front of Bruce in front of Bruce, which I think confused a lot of people, because people were trying to figure out which the real Bruce was. Now, the show also included some trains. Did you get out to see any trains?
Only in passing.
No,
but you drive right past this yard.
It's unbelievable, and it's a really fun yard. I actually have a really good. The one video that actually worked that I'm proud of is I caught them switching, which you'll see in a minute. But I think the CSX people were playing to the crowd because they put this car like right smack dab by the highway. Like, you could not miss this thing. And I have no idea what it is, but it's really cool. Someone said it was an old reefer, like an old Tropicana reefer. Someone else said it was an old boxcar. I don't know what it was, but this is the hazardous material training car. And I think after CSX put it out on the track there, I think someone's got to model it, because it's really a pretty unique car. If anyone knows what this thing does, I haven't had anyone actually comment on what it is or what it does, but that would be quite fascinating to know. That's the switching video I caught, and this was at about 7 in the morning. So the clouds were just beautiful. The light was incredible. Oh, there you go. So I wonder how long until we actually see one of these reefers, the CSX car modeled. Greg, welcome. Greg said that he was told that John coordinated with CSX to get that stage for the show. I wouldn't be surprised, because it was super shiny. It was freshly washed and polished and put on for us.
I just did a quick Google search, and I found a video of it.
Very nice. From the show or from
No, all about that. All about that car, I think. Oh, no, wait. Is it that one? Yeah, I think it's all about that car.
So Stephen is saying that there's a whole train used to train volunteer firefighters in Massachusetts, often seen in the West Springfield yard. One of the things I regret, and I don't regret much about this show because it was incredible, but I did not bring my drone because I figured that A, it would be snowing, and B, I wouldn't have any time to fly it. But next year, oh, and there will be a next year, I am absolutely 100% bringing the drone because that would be fun. And there was that amazing bridge over what's the river in Springfield? Do you know?
I don't actually,
If
but that
anyone,
is a nice bridge going
Yeah.
from east to west Springfield.
Yeah, if anyone knows the name of the river that runs through Springfield, pop it up in the comments because there is an absolutely. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Greg. Greg has all the answers tonight, so that is fantastic. So the Connecticut River, which kind of makes sense, flows through and divides Springfield from West Springfield. Oh, hello, Lewis. Lewis is here. Steven's here. Wow, this is like a Jeopardy. We've got rivers in the Northeast for 10 points.
But can anybody name the bridge? I know it appears to be Route 20, but I
Okay.
don't see a name on the bridge.
Good evening, Split Rock. We are having a game of Railroad Jeopardy right now. And for $100, bridges spanning the Connecticut River. Okay, go. So yeah, I would love, whoops, everyone's saying hi. I would love
Oh,
to,
wait, here's the bridge.
you got it?
Memorial Bridge. That's the bridge.
Oh, Crooked River and Eastern.
Oh, there you go. Yep,
For
it's the
the
Memorial
win.
Bridge.
Actually, that would be really fun. Has anyone done a mock Jeopardy online railroad categories?
Split Rock didn't do a Jeopardy, but he did do a like a trivia game on his
Okay.
channel back in the day,
All
and
right.
I didn't know any of the answers. But
All right. Yeah, it's going to get
you should
very.
definitely do it. You should
Yeah,
definitely do it.
that would be fine. Well, we can work on something. I'm thinking mini prints. How's that sound?
Do you know the owner?
It's the only thing I got to give away. I'll hook you up. Crooked River, because that was impressive. Speaking of contests, there's also a contest that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So we've talked about the show. We've talked about the attendance. We've talked about the fact that I really, really, really want to fly a drone. Greg Cassidy, welcome. He is telling us that Jeopardy had a model railroad category once. So that's something that we will have to find. Let's keep going. What do we have next? Oh, yes. So this is my slide for the aforementioned It's the People. And it was so much fun to meet all the people. And Michelle and I are plotting about a trip to Colorado. So that is something exciting. Where do you see your trash gondolas, Lauren? Hold on. Lauren says, where do you see the trash gondolas? Because I never got to, so if people don't know, Lauren James, the proprietor of OVR, Otter Valley, was at the show with a whole new line of cars. Previous pick. Okay, so let's go back to the previous pick. Hang on. I'm not super good with attack. Did you see your trash cons on this pick? Is this what you're talking about? Because if so, I've got this whole thing on video. So that would be fun if I actually did capture them. But yes, I'm famous, by the way, Heath, for going off on tangerines.
I think that's a requirement.
Yeah, 100%. So trash gondolas, Connecticut River, people, where were we? I completely forget. I'm gone. I'm it's a good thing I'm not having
Talking about the people.
The people. It's all about the people. Oh yeah. So Michelle and I are plotting about Colorado, and it was, I don't know what to say other than it was a blast. I mean, I think I'm still on a high. Oh, Lauren, that's what I was talking about. So Lauren James was there with his trash gondolas, and I feel terrible because I never even got over to see them. But I watched them on the YouTube footage, and man, they're amazing cars. Did you get over to? Yeah, you got over to see them.
I did. I did. Trackside Mike actually ran me through them. If you're on YouTube, I posted the link up as well. If people want to check them out.
Exactly. So I'll put that up, but I don't expect anyone to type that in. so
okay. there'll be an adventurous person that'll type that in.
Okay, so here we go. HTTP colons. Okay. So yeah, they are very impressive, and I got to get me some of those. So Lauren, we will be talking. Put me down. I am pre-ordering. So yes, it is the people, but I have an asterisk though, because it's not just the people you meet. It was also, are you ready for this, Heath?
I don't know.
The people I scanned. So here are some of the over 60 people that I scanned during the show. And I actually did a count, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how many, but I think the number, believe it or not, and I've got to confirm this, but I think the number is 69.
Even if that's wrong, that's the correct number.
It is the correct number. And I don't know how, I don't know if you're squinting at your screen, but you saw this slide a minute ago. And what was the first thing you said? You found someone there that you liked, didn't you?
Yep. Top row, second from the left.
And you said, is he proposing?
Yep.
And you know what the funny thing is? That's what I asked him. I said, are you proposing? And you know what he said to me? He said, well, I'm either proposing or changing the oil on my car. So it can be many different things. And the beauty is that virtually everybody, I would say that easily 95% of the people who I scanned said that it was okay to list them on the Mini Prints website. So if you would like the gentleman proposing or changing his oil, as soon as I get around to actually getting these things out and ready for production, you will be able to get a mini me of whichever one you want. So I was very thankful that people agreed to be listed on the site. So M&M Rails here, let me just stop for a minute because I'm droning on, has a question here. How about second row? Where is it? Where to go? It's jumping around. Second row, second in. So I think he's referring to the gentleman on the stool. So this gentleman, very interesting. He said yes, so he's being listed. He was probably the most elaborate scan of the day. He showed up in full costume with his own stool and two wooden sticks that he put his arms on. So he really thought about it. And there were a few people that came dressed up, including, and I think you might be able to find him in there. There's a full
conductor on the third row.
Yeah, and there's a Jedi. There was someone in full Jedi robes. And the first row, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth in, he brought his own shovel. Yeah, I kid you not. So we had a shovel, we had someone sitting down, we had all sorts of costumes and props. Now, what you're looking at here, Heath, and it's important I should mention this, these are raw scans. So none of these have been edited in any way. So I've got a good minimum hour per scan that I need to go and get in there and fix stuff, fix hats. And
so these will be on the website tomorrow then?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Because you know what? I didn't really want to sleep tonight. So there's a lot of work to be done. You can see third row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thin, third row. This gentleman brought an ad like kerosene lantern. So I'm going to have to, I have one of those in mini prints, so I'm going to have to, reattach that to him. We had someone dressed up as a pastor. We had someone dressed up as a Jedi. It was unbelievable. It was so much fun. And if you've got about a minute, and then I'm going to let you go because I know you've got things to do. I put together a 1-minute video, just rapid fire of all the scans. So hang tight and you can see them in a little bit more detail. So let me fire that up. So those are all raw scans, but you get a little bit of a flavor of what we got.
It's amazing the detail, and I gotta wonder, like, if you tried to model these, like, without the scans, like, how would you model all that? I mean, that's just...
Well, it's really interesting you mentioned that because I started off drawing characters digitally. And what I realized very quickly is that you can't model with software because you don't get all the subtleties. Like, people are not perfect. And when you model in the computer with sort of stock computer figures, everyone is symmetrical and perfect. And, you just don't get the, people stand a certain way and, one shoulder's higher than another and, one arm is longer than another. And you really need to start with a person to create, a realistic person. So I'm having a lot of fun. There are 2 specific scans that I just want to talk about. All of them are going to be for sale, but I'm very excited about these 2 because I have official written permission from John, the show director at the Railroad Hobby Show, that we will be releasing a John Mini-Me. And I'm going to put 10% of all the sales of that one towards the Amherst Rail Society. And Gordy has kindly allowed me to scan him. And there will be mini Gordys for sale on the Mini-Me's Mini Prints site. And that's going to be Gordy holding a pint glass. That's just a stand-in for a pint. I will put a proper regulation pint glass in his hand once I get and clean up the scan. And 10% of all the sales from the Gordys are going to be going to the NMRA for one of their scholarship programs. So those 2 will be coming soon. So all of them that I have permission for, which is the vast majority, will be online as soon as I can get to them. And that's probably a good place to pause. I don't want to keep you. I know you've got a busy evening.
I got a little prep to drink, so yes, I appreciate it. I do need to take off, but
do you want to drink it on air?
No, I think I don't think people will want that. That'll be a whole different sort of stream.
Oh, geez, there goes my rating on YouTube. Well, cheers.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. It was great being able to hang out with you again at Amherst. And I do just want to mention, you did mention it, but the Amherst Railway Society puts on that show to raise money to give it away. Like, it's not about making money for the show. They do a lot of great things in their area and for model railroading and for all kinds of things. So it's great that you're adding to that as well with the Sacerdoti Mini Me.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they do a lot, an awful lot for youth in the hobby.
Yep.
I know that's one of their passions. So I think both for I mean, I'm happy for them to use the money however they want, but if it were for me to determine, I would love both Gordy and John to take whatever we raise. And I'd love those to both go towards youth in the hobby initiatives because I think that would be fantastic. And both gentlemen, it was an honor to scan both of them, and both of them are very impressive individuals. And both of them are these exactly what I was talking about in terms of, getting to Springfield to meet people, because these are people that I talked to and knew about and engaged with, but to actually meet them in real life was a thrill.
Agree 100%. And I cannot wait until next year. I'm already looking forward to it, and I'll find a way to be there. So
absolutely. And I'll see you before then.
Yes.
I don't know where or when, but
it'll happen somewhere. We'll figure it out.
I'll say your name 3 times, and just like half an hour ago, you will appear on screen or in person.
Exactly. That is exactly how it works.
All right. Thanks so much for joining, and we'll talk soon.
Talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, everyone. So I still have more. I have a lot more to show you. But thank you. Thank you, Heath, for coming on. That's fantastic. All right, so what do I have next? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got a public service announcement, so hang on. Let me go back. This is the Sparky story that I wanted to share with you. Sparky 107. So let me go full screen on this and take a look at this. It's very short, but it's very interesting.
And then down this way. Oh, train. All right. Back up.
So that is my first public safety ad. And it was the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. So if you're like me, you've seen the, yeah, exactly. Exactly. That is what this is all about. So here's the story. If you're like me, you've seen those Operation Lifesaver ads, and you've heard stories about people who have an unfortunate connection with a very fast moving locomotive. And I have always wondered how. I mean, these things are huge and you can hear them a mile away. Well, Sparky 107 and I were poking around the railroad tracks in Utica. And I want to just kind of go back a little bit if I can. I'm going to see if I can play this thing again and freeze frame it. So let's see if I can get this here going. Okay. And then I'm going to try pausing it. So we're here and we're looking around, and there are all of these fantastic old locomotives. Okay. And there's a shed right here. And you'll see in a minute, if I can time it properly, that right past the shed is this little, let me get this comment out of the way. There's this little right here. There's this little sort of crossing. And for a brief moment, my mind went to, oh, let's just cross this and then we'll get a better view, because we're kind of looking around the shed to see what's going on. So I'm going to just advance this again for a second.
Oh,
Literally. So that was me taking a step towards that little pathway there across the rails. In the time it took from the first horn, okay, to the time it was on us, 8 seconds. Whoops, don't want to do that. 8 seconds. So here, I'll come back full screen. As some of you know by now, when it comes to this stuff, I'm technologically challenged. That train was on us in 8 seconds. He blew his horn twice. From the time he blew the horn to the time he was on top of us, 8 seconds. Maybe a little bit less even. They can be, Adam, very, very quiet. And that thing was moving like, well, you saw it. It was unbelievable. Sparky and I looked at each other, and you didn't hear the chatter afterwards. And there's probably about 10 minutes of chatter afterwards. It was absolutely nuts. I'm very glad it missed us too. And you know what? It taught me a very valuable lesson, because you always know, first of all, it was a busy east-west freight line. But it is 100% true. These things can be on top of you in no time at all. If you see tracks, think trains, and they can be, you do not hear them. They come. We knew, and it's funny because, something in the back of my head said, but he blew his horn, and public service announcement. It's real. That's a good point, Sean, too. Snow does deaden the sound. And the key word there is dead. Let's see. Adam, I've been surprised by them passing me. Yeah, it's really, they move quick, and they are very, very, very quiet. So that's how Sparky and I almost got smushed. We didn't get smushed because we weren't stupid. But it was definitely a lesson learned. And the other thing that this also serves to indicate or illustrate, Utica. Oh my God. I can't wait to go back to Utica. Utica, we were there for, well, as you saw in the intro, the 5-minute intro video, we probably spent like a couple hours there, and it was just train after train after train after train. And there's this beautiful crystal bridge. And you can stand on top of the bridge, and you can literally stand right on top, as you saw in the intro. And if you came in late, watch the intro, because I'm standing on top of this bridge, and there are just these trains going like right underneath us, and it's a heck of a view. Thanks, Artie. Thanks for joining. I am going to show next some up and coming mini prints. So if you need to run now, check out the rebroadcast because you're about to see what's coming up new from Mini Prints. All right. So what is coming up new from Mini Prints? Let's see what we got next. Oh, yeah. Let me share this with you. So as some of you might have seen, and I've got to move that. That is not a good place. Where can I move that to? There we go. As some of you might remember from last month, if you were here, I've created a new line of figures called Don't Push Me Because I'm Close to the Edge, with apologies to Grandmaster Flash. And this is the first figure in the series. And this is Steve Duranix, who you saw earlier, who rode down to Springfield with me, Muskoka Steve, and he was kind enough to model for this figure. And you do. And guess what? Thank you, Nissy. That's really cool, because there are now 6 figures in this line, and let me show them all to you and tell you a little bit about them. Okay, so they Don't Push Me Because I'm Close to the Edge line now includes Edge 1, Muskoka Steve, peering over into the abyss. I call that one Terra Incognita. Number 2, top row middle, is Brett, who works here at Mini Prints, and he has a telescope, and he Heath. Heath, if I say your name 3 times, will you come back? Hey, everybody. Say Heath 3 times. Let's see if we can get him back in. All right. So number 2, top row middle, is Brett. Brett is looking out over the edge with a telescope. I call this one Here There Be Monsters, after those old maps. Number 3, top row, is Laura. Laura is in the space next to me over there. She's teaching a pottery class right now. She is a very, very talented potter. I believe her company is called B-Side Pottery, and she was kind enough to model the sitting on the edge. So she's just hanging out, checking out the world. I want to talk about number 4 and 5. They're brand new, and they are my friend Sarah. And I asked Sarah what she would want to do on the edge of the world, and she came up with 2 ideas. So Edge 4 is Sarah launching a model paper airplane off the edge of the world. So I thought that was kind of fun. And she said what she really wanted to do, other than launch an airplane off a paper airplane, is dump a body off the edge of my layout. So I thought that might be a little dark even for mini prints. So I said, how about a wheelbarrow, and you can put a body in it, or you can put anything you want. So Edge 5 is Sarah dumping a body off the edge of the known world. And finally, Edge 6 is Paul Hurley taking a picture off of the edge of the world. So those are the first 6. I've already planned the next 3. And if you are the Mini Prints of the Month Club subscribers, well, you might have an extra little surprise this month. So those are the Edge series. And I am... Okay. That's a whole new line, Kevin. So there will be a whole new line coming out. There will be the rolled up rug line coming out as well from Mini Prints. But just to carry on this theme, let me show you the next line of figures coming out from Mini Prints. And believe it or not, this is by popular request. So the next mini print line coming out next month, or maybe at the end of this month. Oh, no, not yet. First, I'll tell you what's new. Then I'll tell you about the next line. How's that for a tease? Okay, so what's new? This month, I released some winter items. So some of you might have seen the Zamboni, which I'm calling an ice resurfacer for copyright reasons. There is the snowmobile and the toboggan. But there are a couple of new ones I haven't released yet. So coming soon, and I'm thinking probably this Friday, if not sooner, I've got some Clydesdales horses, some St. Bernard dogs with the whiskey casks. And yes, those are credited with thanks to Rayron VR. Thank you. You saved me a little bit of work as I was panicking today. So thank you for those. And thank you for your videos. If anyone hasn't seen Rayron, go check out the channel. He does a fantastic job of showing the Mini Prints of the Month Club boxes. And he is a new subscriber to Mini Prints of the Month. And he's doing a wonderful, wonderful job showing each month's box. So check his channel out, please. And thank you for the images. So those will be coming out. There are a line of people have been asking me for railroad-specific tools. So shovels, sledgehammers, picks, axes, things like that. So I'll be listing those. And I had a request for I think it's a 1-gallon milk jug. forget whether there's 1 or 5, but it's a gallon milk jug. And apparently railroaders used to put antifreeze in the gallon milk jugs and stick them on the noses of the locomotives or on the front steps of the locomotives. So I had a specific request for those. Split rock, I do have switch brooms. I don't know what a brake stick is, so send me photographs, please, and I will add those to the line. But switch brooms, if they're the corn brooms, I have corn brooms. They're already up on the mini print website. And yes, Clydesdales are, I've had a lot of requests for Clydesdales. I've had a lot of requests for tools. All of this is to say, as usual, if there is something specifically that you would like to see as a mini print, oh, whoops. Hang on. Where did, oh, you know, Heath was just, there we go. Heath was just, he just won't leave, will he, folks? He's here, but he's not, but he is. And yes, Heath, for you, Z-Scale, not a problem. So all of this is to say, as I interrupt myself for the 15th time, if there is something that you would like to see from mini prints, I cannot guarantee that it will get built or made or when, but I will definitely try to do it. So let's see if it works. I'm watching the basement. Oh, 3 times in reverse. All right. Well, I'm sure someone will do it. All right. Would you like to see what I'm up to next? So this is what I brought out this month, what I'm bringing out on Friday. How about the next line of figures from mini prints? Are you game? All right. That's right. Believe it or not, there has been a huge demand for roadkill, which kind of makes sense because it's everywhere. I have not seen a manufacturer of 3D printed HO scale, O scale, N scale, S scale roadkill. This came as a request from someone. They had my turkey vultures, and they said that they didn't have anything for the turkey vultures to pick away at. So believe it or not, Mini Prints introduces roadkill. So I hope people want 3D printed roadkill. I'm thinking skunks. I'm thinking squirrels. I'm thinking raccoons. But it's it's something that I had a request for. I think it actually kind of makes sense. So the next series from Mini Prints will be roadkill, and we'll see if the roadkill moves or doesn't move, as the case may be. Then I'll continue to add. So coming soon. Stay tuned. Roadkill. And armadillos. I saw Rango. That was a pretty weird movie. What do we have here? Dead deer are the Wisconsin state animal. All right. Well, there you go. I think there is the need for it. And that's a good idea, Nelson. Yes, I think so. Anyway, those were not scanned. These ones were modeled. So no roadkill was harmed, Vic, in the production of this. Armadillos are a really smart idea. Moving on. There is no video. There's no video of me scanning. So, we'll see. I mean, it's a crazy idea, right? But that's what you expect from Mini Prints, right? Mini Prints is new, never been done before. novel, silly, fun. That's the brand. So I hope that is something. Heath just won't leave, will he? All right, let's wrap this up. We're coming up on an hour. Let's see what else I got for you. Oh yes. Okay, so we're gonna leave the roadkill behind, and we are going to talk about something a little happier. Today is February 1st. It's the first Wednesday of the month. That is why I'm here talking to you. Happy Valentine's month, everyone. Happy February. How did that happen? How is it February already? Anyway, you have 2 weeks, 14 days to enter the Miniprints Valentine's Day Mini Build Challenge. I hope that all 70 of you here know about it. I hope that all 70 of you will enter it. So we did one in October. It was a Halloween theme. I had 14 entries. We had one in December for Christmas. I had 14 entries. I would love to beat 14 entries this time. 14 entries is a good number of entries. I will be showing all of these in a month, the first Wednesday of the month in March, which is... Just flip the calendar here. Oh, no, not again. Wednesday, March 1st. So I will see you in exactly 1 month on the first Wednesday of March. And I will be showing all the Mini Prints Valentine's Mini Build Challenge. If you don't know, it's super simple. You take a peanut butter lid, 3.5 inches. I don't care. It can be Vegemite for you Australians. It can be mayonnaise. You don't even need a lid. You need something that is looking like a lid, 3.5 inches across. You take said lid. You build a diorama. I would love you to use some mini prints. You don't need to use some mini prints. It can be as elaborate or as simple as you would like. I have posted all of the entries on previous Mini Prints Monthly Lives, so you can go back and look at them. One of the things I will probably do is isolate just the Halloween and the Christmas mini build challenges, and I will put them up on my YouTube page this week so you can see previous entries. They can be very elaborate or very simple. The whole point of this is to take your mini prints, get them out of the boxes, paint them, because we all have, blue plastic. And the fun thing about this format is it is very low risk. So you got 3.5 inches. You can try a new scenery technique. It's not going to take you very long. And yes, split rock. I'm holding you to this. So let me go here. Ladies and gentlemen, we see it now. Split rock has 13 days. I've already received 2 entries. So people are entering. Sparky! Somebody said his name 3 times. Sparky, Sparky, Sparky. He's here. We said all sorts of nasty things about you, Sparky. And I showed the video. I don't know if you were still on or whether you had come on, but we showed the video of you and I almost getting smushed. So I am so glad that you are here. And I turned it into a rail safety PSA. So let's beat the 14. Let's enter if you wish. Oh, I almost forgot. No rules other than use a lid. Any scale. You don't have to include mini prints. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be over the top if you want. And we will be drawing at random for a Mini Prints gift card, $50 gift card. Okay, what else do I have for you? Not much. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, if you are interested in listening to me ramble on a bit more, I was on A Modeler's Life earlier in the month, and the Wileys. I don't know if you know the Bench Time podcast. I was Bench Time 184, and it was a lot of fun. We really had a great time. So check out the Wileys podcast if you haven't checked it out. Also, I was on What's Neat This Week in Model Railroading January 14th. And that was a lot of fun because I have watched that show for years. And it was lovely to be on Ken's show. Spoiler alert, I will probably be going down to scan Ken and his gang on air. A date to be determined. So that is something to stay tuned, and I'll have more details on that. Let's see the new comments. Am I buzzing, Kevin? I was buzzing on the AML. So yes, AML, I am buzz. So that's kind of fun. Oh, I should also mention, let me go full screen for 1 minute because I don't want to forget. This wonderful magazine, I think Split Rock might be familiar with it. Did you know, Split Rock, that we share an issue? So in the Split Rock issue, and it's so funny, I was so focused on your article and so obsessed with your cover story that I didn't realize until yesterday when someone told me that Mini Prints is actually in this issue as well. I had no idea. I was like, Split Rock, you're in here. So if you have the January model, a Railroad Model Craftsman, I'm sorry, I always say model railroad, but it's Railroad Model Craftsman. Our friend and another Meet the Modeler, our good friend, Mr. Scott Thornton, has an article in here because he's doing the build series on his branch line on a shelf, the Milan Depot Details. So that is on page 76. Well, looky. Mini Prints makes a neat model of an old tank. Several different painting techniques were used to create a well-worn look. So Scott, who is a friend and a customer, has been doing this series and put the Mini Prints oil tank in his article. So there we go. And someone wrote me today and said, "Hey, you're in the magazine." I'm like, really? There you go. So I want to do a special shout out to Mr. Scott Thornton, and it's an excellent series. Okay, so let's bring this puppy home. Almost there. So let's go back. Let's talk about stickers. Stickers seem to have become a thing in model railroading. And when I brought the modules to Springfield, you might have noticed in an earlier photograph that there were stickers all over them. And what I'm trying to do, oh, Nancy, hello, Nancy, did I not see something? Did I miss a message from you? I will go back and take a look at, oh, here we go. I need a mini wheelchair for my leg so I can show myself. Yes, I have a wheelchair. I do. I actually have an amazing wheelchair and a gentleman in it, but I can also put a female figure in it. And I have had, believe it or not, a couple of requests for it. The only thing is, I'm seeing from your name that you're an N scaler. Getting it to print out an N scale might be challenging, but I absolutely have a wheelchair. Thank you for reminding me. I will list it, and if you want it in N scale, we will figure it out. So thank you. And if you put a comment in that I didn't see, then I will look at it back on the rebroadcast, or just keep pinging me until I, bang me over the head until I see it. But yes, this is the point of this slide. Could you all please, if you have a sticker, flood my mailbox, 163 Sterling Road, Unit 12C in Tirana. I would like to cover the sides of my Fremo modules with stickers. And if you would like to send me a sticker, that would be wonderful. I would love to to cover the modules with your stickers. And maybe next month, if I get a bunch of stickers, we'll just do a sticker tour of the Fremo modules. Okay. I look forward to that. Everybody should make a sticker. And you know what? There were a lot of stickers at Springfield. So I don't think there's much more to be said other than thank you for joining me. If you would like, and I've had a few comments, if you would like some merch, there is the merch shop. And I only mention that because someone at Springfield came up and said, when are you going to do merchandise? And I said, I have. So just a reminder, if you are dying, although I don't know why you would be, you can go to the merch shop. All of the stuff that I've talked about. Oh, it looks like I'm getting a sticker. Thank you, Wigwag. All of the things that I've talked about today and more are always posted on the Miniprints Facebook page and the Miniprints Instagram and the Miniprints YouTube. And I'm starting to do more on YouTube. So check out social media for all the latest. As I launch roadkill or new edge figures, they will all be on social media. Sparky has asked a question, and I do not know. Honestly, I'm thinking maybe about Dallas. I kind of like the idea of Dallas, but there's still a lot of moving pieces for that. My wife is telling me to get off the air. So I suppose I should probably say goodnight to you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. And I will I will definitely see you next month, 1 month today. Please enter the Peanut Butter Lid Challenge. And if there are any shows you would like me to come to, I will consider them. Email me, bernard@miniprints.com. And you're welcome, Split Rock. Good night, everyone. See you next month and online. And good night. Bye-bye.